What up, what up, what up?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to Like I Was Saying with
your girl Velvet.
And it's FeBaybeee.
Hopefully y'all are having a great week.
Yes. Here for another potty, yada 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 yada.
Hey. Yeah. I'm weak. That's funny. But yes, thank you for joining us for Like I Was Saying podcast. You know, we're going to say this a couple times, so make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, tell everybody. Yes. How was your week?
My week was good.
Oh, how was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I got to visit some friends I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, it was nice to be able to get away and enjoy some time, just kind of
hanging with the peoples.
Yeah. It was pleasant. What about you?
Mine was good. It's the start of spring break.
Yes.
So, just doing some things, making sure my son is not bored to death. So that's about it.
Just be careful on them roads, because I just feel like it's just going to be people just traveling, especially just trying to get up out in the houses.
Exactly. And for spring break, we're not going to be doing too much for real. Probably go to Richmond, see some people, see some friends. And that's probably, eat. Always eating. And you want to go to some museums, so we'll probably do that.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I was surprised when he said it. I was like, okay.
You have any in mind?
There's a couple in Richmond we're going to go to, because they're all like jumbled up together there. So we'll go to a couple of those. I really wanted to go to the African American Museum in D.C., but that's still closed. So that sucks.
Do we know why it's closed?
It closed during COVID. They haven't opened it back up.
Oh.
Every time I look online, it just says closed. Yeah.
But it's interesting, because it's a Smithsonian, is it not?
But I think Smithsonian's closed.
All the Smithsonians are?
I think the stuff in DC, like if you have to go inside, like when we went to DC, I don't remember what we went to, but whatever, the Lincoln, outside, so all those are outside. But I think in DC, at least when I looked it up, I'll look it up again, before I head to Richmond, but it all said closed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of sucks. So because I haven't seen it. I was supposed to go the year before last, but then stuff happened, and then COVID happened last year. So it's like I really want to see it, but
yeah, it's definitely a night. It's definitely an experience.
You been?
I have. I've
jealous.
Been twice.
What?
Didn't have the full amount of time. That is definitely a museum of. I think it's a Smithsonian. Of all of them, you've got to dedicate the most time. Yes, and both times that I went, the first time I definitely did not have enough time. The second time, I spent some time, but still, you've got to dedicate a good amount of time to kind of soak it, because they've got multiple levels. I think that's one of the ones that have as many levels as that one does.
Oh, really?
So much stuff. It's.
I would really love to go. So hopefully I'll open up. Open up.
Listen to you girls.
Yeah.
It's needed.
Because I really want to, and yeah.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Just living life and
that's what's up.
Kicking ass, taking names.
Ass whoopings and lollipops, all out of motherfucking lollipops.
I'm weak.
That's the only line for the game that I know. Love it though.
Goodbye.
Love that line.
Anyways, hopefully y'all are having a good time and having a great week. And if you're having spring break with your kiddos, hopefully y'all are at least doing something fun. Just get out the house. You don't have to go anywhere too crazy. But just get out the house and maybe go for a walk or a park or something, so that y'all aren't stuck in the house all day.
Yeah, hopefully the weather clears up a little bit, get some nice weather. There's been some decent to get outside, get that vitamin D going.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Well, it rained crazy today and yesterday. It rained crazy. So hopefully this weekend, this upcoming weekend and the rest of the year is great. I'm just ready for sun. One, because it's my birthday season this summer, but I'm ready for the sun. I just want warm weather. Wetter? Warm weather.
She's coming in episode 2, not even able to talk.
Weather.
Second episode.
What is going on? The words do not want to flow. Yeah. Warm. I don't know. Warm weather. What is that? I'm about to come up with something. Warm weather.
Sweater weather.
Warm weather. Well, that's not bad, actually. Warm weather, if you think about it. Think about it and come back to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Warm and it's wetter. Warm weather. Are you getting it? Are you grasping it?
So the worst She seemed to change a little bit as
warm weather. It's warm weather.
I'm picking up what you're trying to put down.
I just came up with something. Hopefully y'all got it, because I don't know if she really picked it up or she was saying it. But
it took about maybe 3, 4, 5 times repetition.
But yes, warm weather. It is something. It's coming on a shirt. I'm putting it out there.
It's coming on a shirt. Coming to a shirt near you.
Just coming. It's flowing, y'all. It's flowing off the top. I don't know. That was good.
That was.
You know.
I'm not gonna take that from you.
I try. You know. I try. But.
Well, in other news.
Yes.
There have been some updates since last potty.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some walkbacks or some edits to what was said.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the assumption that the shoes that Lil Nas X and the company Mischief had made, I thought it was just a big troll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought just like the Chick-fil-A shoe, it was all a troll.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not. Apparently these shoes were actually put out into production. As they
Did he like do all of the shoes, or he just got some for himself?
No, not all the shoes. There's only 666 shoes.
But that's what I mean. So they actually made. I didn't know if that part was still fake, or if like they made the shoe and it's only Lil Nas X shoe, but they actually made 666 shoes with the Nike symbol on it.
And so they purchased. So it's apparently the company is called Mischief.
Mm-hmm.
MSCHF. There's no vowels. Yes.
Oh, that's like Derek Jackson. Sorry, go ahead.
So Mischief is they're a company that does customization to shoes, and they don't make their own shoes. They purchase existing shoes. They purchase Air Maxes with a Nike sign on it, obviously, and they customize them. They do it all the time.
But a lot of people do that.
Yeah, but they do it in bulk. Like they do like special releases like that for shoes, and they specifically did it for this one. And each shoe is numbered to know of the amount, which one you have. And there was actually a gentleman who did an unboxing that I saw, who somehow already got. I didn't even know they were already out for purchase.
And them bitches probably cost dough.
They're $1,200. I think they're $13, almost $1,400.
Nike like, where my money?
That's for one. But it had, so at the very bottom on this type of Air Max, at the bottom there's a bubble, and that's where the 1 cc of blood is on the bubble that goes around.
But it really isn't blood though.
What you see is not blood. There's 1 cc of blood, and then they do like a water, like they dye the water to make it resemble blood.
But there is actual blood in there.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're stating. Is that there is 1 cc of blood mixed in with the water that has dye in it to make it look like it's blood. But so it turns out, as I stated, I thought it was a hoax, but it's actually real. And Nike is not happy about it whatsoever. Nike at this point is suing Mischief. I don't know if Lil Nas X is named in it. Yes, correct. But I do know that Mischief has been named in it.
So a lot of people do that. There's a lot of people that buy shoes, especially the white ones, and then they design it however they want. Some people even sell them. So that's something that's been going on since I was probably like 15. But I guess it's because, Nike want their cut.
Also, I don't think Nike wants their cut as much as on the picture you see their emblem on the side of the shoe. And there have been a lot of people who are now boycotting Nike because of it, because they think that Nike is in line with this, and these are beliefs that are also of Nike. So people are now boycotting, and they don't want it to damage their brand, if you will, and so that's why they're suing. I don't think it's got nothing to do with the bread, because they don't need what's coming off that bread. I think it's because they would have been done that. Like, so this is a company that's been producing on. They have. I think before this, it was Holy something. They made like a shoe for like God, and it was a really nice shoe. It was like a holy release, and Nike said nothing about it. But this specifically, they're not
because
happy.
People are talking about it, in a negative sense, even though it shouldn't really fucking matter. It's a fucking shoe.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to say to that. I don't care. That sounds terrible, but I just, like, why are you upset? Why are people upset if you don't like the fucking shoe? You know what you don't do? Fucking buy it. That is that simple. Don't buy it if you don't like it. Just like if you didn't like the Jesus shoe, which I never knew they had, but apparently there was that. So if you didn't like the Jesus shoe because you a devil worshiper, nobody gives. Okay, cool. Guess what? Don't fucking buy it. I don't understand why people have to have such a fucking opinion about shit. If you don't like it, just don't fucking do it.
Exactly.
That's it. If that's their brand, that's their brand. If it's not, then it's not. So I understand the piece of it definitely should have been asked because it is a shoe and you're technically producing a lot of these shoes for sale, which is technically under Nike. So they are gonna want their money, but it's probably more so of it being a devil shoe or whatever. But yes, that's all I got.
Yeah, it was hilarious though. Once the suit was announced, Lil Nas X put out a meme
with Squidward.
Spare change.
And that's great. They're probably gonna be able to figure it out outside of court, hopefully.
Yeah. No.
Or just don't put the shoe in production. I'm like, just the other shoes don't sell them.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Problem solved.
Case closed.
Yes. I don't understand why it has to be such a big deal. It definitely could have been something that was done. Anyways, next subject. What are we talking about? I'm tired of that shit.
So we discussed a couple weeks ago, makeups, breakups, more breakups than makeups.
Yes.
And we discussed how Saweetie went on her platform and announced that, essentially she's single. There were some rumors of some cheating kind of going on or alluded to in her tweet.
Again. Back on the prowl.
There you go.
Something. I don't remember the words. That's all. I don't even know if it's back on the prowl or out on the prowl. One of the two.
But the word prowl.
Again.
I know that's there. I know prowl's
something
there.
in prowl.
Back on the prowl, on the prowl. Who knows?
Something with the prowl. She prowling.
Oh. So there's been some video footage that's been released.
Yes. I wonder if y'all seen it. If you have, comment down below. If you haven't, go check it out.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. And I think the comments are probably the most interesting of it all. But we're going to talk about all of it overall.
So the video starts off with, it almost looks like Quavo and Saweetie are in a little bit of a tussle outside the elevator. What you see what looks like Saweetie swing on Quavo, and then you see what looks like Quavo grabbing Saweetie and kind of.
She grabs the bag. You skipped that part. She grabbed whatever luggage bag thing.
It's a game console bag. That this is like an orange game console bag she went to go reach for. And at the time he grabbed the console bag and her, and pretty much, I feel like he flung her in there. He and then
they were tussling over. Well, they were tussling over for a little bit, and then she was on the ground.
Yeah, and then she fell to the ground.
He did not help her up.
No, she stayed on the ground. He pretty much kind of stood over her. There's no audio to the video, so you don't know what's being said. It does look like there's some words exchanged, more from him. And then at a point, he just kind of stops, orients himself, and looks up and sees there's a camera in the elevator. And his entire demeanor just kind of shifts. He just kind of stops. And then the elevator door opens. And
there's a gentleman or a woman, you can't really tell there, and then the gentleman or woman don't get in. No. The door closes.
What's funny is like Quavo makes space as if they're gonna come into the elevator with him, like he moves his bags to the corner.
I definitely would have.
All while Saweetie's still on the floor, by the way.
Yes.
Saweetie has not gotten up.
As the person that was standing outside, if I was the person outside, I 100% would have got right in the elevator. 100%. 100%.
You see a man that's agitated and a woman that's on the floor.
100%. Because my thought would have been, I don't know what's about to happen, and I don't want to be the person that saw this and then later on see on the news, even if I would have recognized them or not, and it was just a regular couple, saw them on the news saying this person died in the elevator. Hell no. But you already know, I already got on me. But in my pocket.
You know what's interesting? A lot of people would, I've been seeing a lot of instances where people are just bystanders, like literally watching people be abused.
That's exactly
in relationships, not in relationships.
And they're doing this randomly the whole time. Yeah, recording. So it depends on the situation. Right. But because I literally if I was that person, again, I don't know if it's man or woman. The statue looked like a man, but it could have been anybody. So the person standing outside, if that was that person, and I saw her on the floor, regardless of who it was, I would have gotten an elevator. That's just me. And because I would have made sure he wasn't trying to kick her or whatever the fuck, or I probably at least would have said, hey, are you okay? Is everything good or something? But it doesn't seem like, again, there's no audio, so I don't know, but it doesn't seem like anything was communicated between them. But I would have got in, and I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, not while I'm on this motherfucking elevator. And I probably would have helped her out, like, hey, you good? I'm gonna help you go to where you need to get to, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because at the end of it, you see him put his thing there, but it's unknown if he got back in the elevator or if he went where she went, or if they went their separate ways.
Yeah, because afterwards the elevator opened to whomever was outside. They didn't get in. The elevator door closed. They arrived to wherever they were going. Door opens. Quavo gets out. Saweetie then it takes her a second. She pulls herself out, walks out. She's limping out of the elevator, and that's kind of where it cuts off.
So you don't know what happened after that. So I am quite sure that I would have gotten an elevator and be like, hey, you good? And helped her up. And then if he was getting off and she was getting off as well, I'm quite sure that I probably would have at least peeked out and like made sure there was nothing else. But that's just me. It probably has to deal with all the abuse I saw as a child. That's not something that I am good with looking at or dealing with. And if an MF or if he would have tried, or either of them would have tried to hit me, as always said, I always got one.
That thing.
And the thing would have been pop. You heard pop, pop. Somebody got hurt.
Pow, pow.
No, that's not a pow, pow, but that's a real one. Bang, bang.
Like a bang,
bang, bang. Because, no,
Yeah. You mentioned a word I just kind of homed in on.
What?
So you said witnessing abuse. So based on what you've seen, do you classify what you saw as abuse?
Yes. Abuse can be different things, but there's obviously physical abuse, mental abuse. Some people say spiritual abuse. There's literally any type of abuse. So I would say yes.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
100%.
I, in any capacity, putting your hands on me in any type of frustrated, upset, angry emotion that's unsolicited.
Yes.
I'm
Physical
scared,
contact.
I'm fearing you. That's abuse.
Yes. Whether it's a male to female or female to male.
Yes.
That is abuse. Yes.
So from what you saw also, because I think as a whole, which on average it is the male who's abusing the female, but it is not above for a woman to abuse a man. That does happen. Do you view one person as being more on the wrong? Do you see something on both sides? What did you
in that
see?
video?
Yes.
So So all we're seeing is a piece of it.
Right.
So I can't. Based on this specific piece, you see there's a tussle, and you see her swing, which he missed, or either he ducked, whichever way you want to put it. But I don't think there was a connection.
Right.
So she technically didn't hit him, but and then you see him fling her. So I don't know what happened prior to. So I don't know if I'm 100% comfortable saying one or the other because I don't know the full situation. So the thing is, the same thing I teach my son is that physical contact with anyone is not appropriate. However, if anyone, and again, let me state, anyone puts their hand on you, I always say, well, it's, he's young, so at school I say, give them a warning, but after said warning and they do it or attempt to do it again, you whoop that ass. So I don't know if she hit him first or if he hit her first, or if there was a, hey, you need to back up, I'm not for it if you try to hit me again or whatever on either part, and then that's how it all, it's too many unknowns for me to truly speak on the situation. So in this case, based just on that little information, it looks like possibly she was trying to take said game system. He was like, hell no. She swung on him. She missed. She tried to get in the elevator. He then grabbed her and basically tossed her ass like a rag doll is what it like, literally tossed her against the elevator, the back of the elevator. They were tussling for a bit. He ended up getting the suitcase from her. She's still laying there.
Mm-hmm.
So if she made a connect,
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, both of them seem to be playing parts in it.
Yes.
While the majority of what the video you saw, I think it elicits a lot more sympathy
for
her because you see a physical impact to her, with her going against the wall, her staying on the floor, her limping out.
Exactly.
But it does look like there's some type of contributing factor.
There usually is, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's definitely, and there was something coming out that the LAPD, what I find interesting is what prompts this video to come out now after their breakup. This didn't come out at all before. Now post breakup, this is coming out. But
we'll put it out.
Apparently the LAPD is now involved and is investigating the situation, and they are apparently looking to place domestic abuse or assault charges on both of them at this point.
So with usually domestic things, the people have to want to press charges.
Right.
So that doesn't mean anything's going to happen.
Right.
Charges usually have to be pressed. So whether she pressed charges or whether he pressed charges, which I don't foresee happening, because that's going to ruin not them as a whole together, but them separate, whatever their brand or whatever, etc. is, depending upon it. So then if they both press charges, then that's just a whole other thing. But at least one of them would have to press charges for that, for the most part, to my knowledge, unless something in the law has changed.
So something else that I was noticing, while you and I seem to be on the same page as far as what we've seen and how we categorize what we saw, that's not the same for a lot of people. Apparently, for one, people have different definitions of what abuse is, what constitutes abuse, and what is or is not defined as toxic.
A toxic relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that that's normal.
Yes.
And I disagree. If you got to put your hands on me, I don't feel that's normal.
Right.
Unless it's in a sexual manner and it's approved sexual manner, it's not approved. Once you attempt to lay your hands on me, because I've never truly been in an abusive relationship. I've definitely seen it. My mother was in several of them, so I've seen it. And that's what I vowed to myself that I would never be in, regardless. I don't give a fuck who you are. It could be my boo, and y'all should know who I'm talking about if y'all are true followers. It could be my boo, and if he lays one motherfucking finger on me, I'm going to just let y'all know. Y'all going to see him on motherfucking TV with a black eye and some blue lips. A black eye, bloody lip, blue lip, whatever lip you want to, that's how it's going to be. And we would no longer be together. So I've been in a situation previously where the person that I was talking to never punched me or anything of that nature, but he did mush me one time. Let me repeat, mush me one time. Once the mush was completed and my face, like once I realized what occurred,
Once the mush had occurred,
yes,
and I picked it all back up,
and I realized this motherfucker just put his hands on me, I two-pieced him, and that never occurred after that. Because whenever I talk to anyone, that's literally one of the first things that I say. I don't deal with it. So period. If you attempt to put your hands on me, or if you put your hands on me, I will fuck you up, and that will be the end of us, period. And that individual had realized that once he mushed me, and when I am not in the mood that I am, that y'all see, my face changes completely. Like it's a whole, like it's one of those things like you see on TV where something happens and it's like blank. That's how that was. It was blank.
So you already have a very intense resting bitch face.
Oh, yeah.
So to see it when it's not just your default face,
it is,
and it's real,
baby. So he realized at that point that, oh shit, this is not Velvet. This is, I'm not gonna say my real name, but this is I don't want to say two different, but they're just
absolutely,
like
yeah.
There's the Velvet. There is the my real name, and when you get the real name, it's never a good situation ever, like ever, period.
That's funny. People say the same thing about me too.
Yeah.
When people see certain sides of me, oh, that's you coming out.
Yeah.
That's you. I'm
Yeah.
like,
And literally it changed, and literally my hands went up so quick. It was just a reaction. It was like motherfucker hit me. Bow bow. It was a whole and it was it.
Wow.
And he was like, oh. And I said, I told you, and it was a whole thing, and then I left. So yeah, never again.
Yeah. There's been different people, I guess, prominent, famous people.
They got the little blue check mark.
Yeah, just the verifiable people.
The verified.
Adrian Bronner, I think he's a boxer. He essentially put a stamp on how that's essentially just how black love works. Like that's just something that's black love.
So we're gonna touch on that before we move forward. Or you have
Also,
something to say?
there's a couple other people who also.
So are we gonna touch on each one? Cause
all of them are pretty much okay. Yeah, let's touch on that first.
So with that, one, that's not how black love is, because I have seen black love. Even if it was my grandparents, I have never seen that in my entire life with that. I have seen, again, physical abuse with my mother and her suitors, but with my grandmother and grandfather, which is the love that I aspire to have one day, I've never. And it can't be said that it may have happened behind closed doors, but even living there, which I lived there for several years, never seen it in my entire life. So that is not black love. That is what people see on TV and think that that's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
But that is not what true love is. That you shouldn't have to put your hands on someone to show that you love them. That's stupid as fuck. That is, and I'm gonna repeat, stupid as fuck. What are your thoughts?
I don't feel like anybody should have to endure physical
Or mental.
abuse, physical, mental, anything. But specifically, I don't think that that's an expression of love. I don't think that should be how you should handle in your bouts of anger or rage or being upset or any negative emotions. I don't think that's how you should be expressing yourself to your significant other. At all. I mean, I've never been party to. I've seen, just like you've mentioned, abusive relationships for people who are close to me. I've never personally ever dealt with anyone being physical with me.
That's good.
But yeah, that definitely would not go over well as someone where, because it's just not okay. I've never felt, even to an extent sometimes, it's even a conversation that can extend from relationships, right, to your own children. Like how you decide to express, because a lot of times, depending on how you express things or how you decide to deal with situations with your children when they misbehave, a lot of times, sometimes that's coming out of anger. That's where you have like the whoopings and spankings. A lot of times that's coming from a place of anger, and sometimes that's a lot of times how people take those actions into relationships, because that's how, when their parents were upset, that's how they expressed they were upset. They had physical punishment. So, and it's not shunning physical punishment, because I do think in some situations it's appropriate. I don't think for every situation where you're upset with your child that's appropriate. There should be different avenues of just correctiveness with your child. So that's just kind of my piece there. But yeah, no. I don't want you. If we're upset, there should be nothing but verbal going on with us. You should never put your hands on me. I shouldn't be pushed out the way. I shouldn't be pushed onto a wall. You should never put your hands on me, period. You should never throw anything at me, like nothing. If it's that hostile, you need to go talk to somebody, because that means that's gonna be a pattern. You don't accidentally just put your hands on somebody. And we should never be that close for you to be doing that neither. But no, I can't speak from how that looks as far as the black community. I mean, I do predominantly date black men. Those are the friends that I have are typically black females, black men. So, but I've never seen that type of display, and I don't think that that's accurate. And I don't think that's something that you should be attributing to your entire...
Or okay with.
No.
You should not
or
be...
condone.
Yes, you shouldn't. That what he said was stupid, and I think probably the boxing or something messed up his brain.
I think he's been messed up.
You think what?
I think he's been like that.
Yes, but the boxing definitely has not assisted in him. And it's just, that doesn't make sense. Why should me putting my hands on you or you putting your hands on me, again non-sexual, be something that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
It should not.
No.
That it shouldn't be. Oh, you beat me up the other day and I got a black eye. It's it's our normal thing. That don't even sound right in a sentence. That don't sound right. Record yourself saying it and see if that sound right. If someone was to tell you that, I bet you'd be like, why are you with him, sis? Or why are you with her, dude? You would say those things. But if you're in that situation, that doesn't, no. And the game said something.
Yes, so, and even out before game, there was also, who's surprised at this, Boosie had something to say about it. He's the definition of toxic. Just FYI, that's my stance on it. He's the definition of toxicity. So if you want to know what toxic is, just look up Boosie. But him and this other, his name's Trouble. He's a rapper. I've never heard of him. It's not T.I. But they pretty much both co-signed. They're just tussling. They're just like completely alleviating the fact that there was aggression there. Again, it looks like it could be on both parts, but there's aggression there. And that's not okay.
It's not.
So it's also when you just see commenters as a whole, but then when you see people who have a platform stating
it's okay
and normalizing it, it's a problem for sure. Especially when you have so many situations, especially right now in COVID times, because you have people who are at home stuck with their abusers. There are more cases of domestic violence and abuse and rape going on right now. Because people are stuck at home. They're not able to leave the house. They're not going to their safe places at home or like at work to be able to get away from people. Or
for at least 8 hours
exactly.
or whatever it is.
So it's just not something to play with, especially in these times right now.
A lot of people kill themselves over it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's been an increase. There's been an increase in reporting it. There's also been an increase, I think, in that as well because people just can't. There's no out. Either their partner's not going to work so they can be home alone, or they're no longer going to work to be able to escape what's going on. Like children as well. So,
yes.
So it's just kind of it's a trickle down. You talk about it at the top with just grown people in relationships, but if it's okay for them to tussle, smack each other around, does that mean it's okay? Like it's a form of affection, love when I do that to my child? So it's just like you're putting such a generalization down. And it's way more harmful.
It's just
than good.
I think a lot of people, especially black people, believe that it's okay. One, because again, they see it on TV. A lot of people take what they see on TV for heart, unfortunately. But they see it on TV, and it's also something that you see in the community a lot. So growing up, even if it was outside of my mother, and again, the suitors or people she was talking to, I could see that amongst a lot of people in the neighborhood.
But what's even crazy is not just I also have family members. Obviously, I'm white. My family members who also have been in abusive relationships. So it's not exclusive to black people.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
I don't know many other communities that would condone it in the way that black people do. So that is more problematic and makes people think that it's not a situation they need to escape from.
But it's also, so I hate to always bring this up, but literally abuse is something that black people have dealt with
in slavery.
And forever.
Yeah,
and so it's something that was normalized.
Right.
And so that's also something they saw their masters at that time or whomever, whatever you want to call them at that time, abusing them. And those men and women, but back in that time, but mostly was men, were abusing their wives in that manner too, because the white men or the white women were doing the same thing. So it's something that has been normalized over time.
Right.
So in the black community, it probably is more predominant in the sense of it being normalized. Overall, of course, all ethnicities, etc., has dealt with abuse in some manner, whether physical, mental, etc. I think it's just more normalized in the sense of it being in the African American community.
Yeah. There was another video. Chet Hanks, who is forgive me, I don't know his wife's name. It's Tom Hanks and his wife's son. And he recently recorded an altercation between him and his girlfriend Kiana Parker. The video starts. They're having he's recording. They're having like a verbal tiff. And then she has what looks like a pot in her hand and then some other object in her hand with the pot. All of a sudden you hear like and it comes back and he's got like this gash.
He definitely has
on his forehead and he's got blood coming down. He says that she took a knife to him. But essentially, he's claiming XYZ as to why they got into the altercation. There's a comment that is left under the video. The comment is by the game. And he says,
it's time to go back to Becky, bro. You might not be built for this level of anger.
Now, keep in mind, if you do not know, Chet Hanks is white. He is full white. And Kiana Parker, his girlfriend, is a black woman. So, I think that further pushes the narrative.
A black woman?
Of one black woman being aggressive, but being in a relationship with a black person, that's going to be the expectation. There's going to be a physicality to it. That if you're not from this, you're not raised in this, then you don't need to be. You need to go be with your own because it's not going to work because of that.
It goes back to normalizing things.
So I definitely think that further pushes that narrative. One, that black love is that, but two, it also puts on and further tries to stereotype black women as being aggressive and angry.
Which I disagree with. Yes, black women can be angry, so can white women and Asian women and Hispanic women. They're all women and all people in general can be angry.
Right.
But they definitely push the agenda that black women are the angriest of them all and that the mad black woman is what it is. Like the Tyler Perry movie.
Right.
But yes, I can be angry, but I can also be a loving, wonderful person. That doesn't make me an angry black woman, and she should not have put her hands on him. So let me.
But you can also be angry and know how to appropriately express yourself.
Yes.
Like that's another issue. I feel like the narrative not only being angry, but putting this narrative that black women do not know how to be angry and properly express themselves.
But they always show the video where it's a black woman hitting somebody, so it's not shown as the video where the let's just say white person is cursing out and hit the black woman or something, and the black woman just calmly says you need to back up and doesn't physically do anything, because there are those situations. I've been in it. And I have not physically hit someone, but I've definitely told them you need to back up. And if you choose to approach me again, then I will lay the hands that God has given me upon you. But past that, lay these wonderful hands.
Get that 1-2 again.
But it has to deal, yes, with your anger and how you deal with it and how you express it. But it's always that same narrative that a black woman is angry, and that's not the case. In the game, he said some crazy shit anyway. So, but that's
a whole other problematic person, but another person that has a platform that people subscribe to.
Well, that's. I didn't know what else to say past that point. So yes, I disagree with everything that all these people are saying. I think that the one thing that I did see. Are you done talking about that, or you have something else to say about game before I say something?
Let's see what you're saying. What you got?
Well, I was gonna say about comedians.
Yeah, before.
Okay.
Understand that you do not have to endure violence. You don't have to endure abuse to be in a relationship.
Any abuse
at all. And physically hitting someone and punching is not the only constitute or qualification for abuse.
Correct.
You deserve way more than that. And if you are a person who, when you get upset, that's what you resort to, then you need to work on that.
And that means you probably need to seek some type of counselor or therapist, psychologist, any of those things. And again, in the black community, we don't like to go do those things, but it is very important. We have been through a lot, whether it's just you or you want to say the community as a whole. You have been through a lot. You go through a lot probably on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever it is. And being able to have that conversation and speak to someone that's not in your life is very important. Because they are, me being able to talk to FeBaybeee is cool and all, but me being able to talk to someone else that doesn't truly know me and they can give me an unbiased opinion is very important, because sometimes they agree with what I say and sometimes they're like, no, what you did or what was done is not right, X, Y, and Z, and you need to hear that. Because some of your friends may agree with you even though they know it's incorrect.
Or they doing the same wrong shit that you're doing.
Exactly.
So they can't point you out for what you're doing,
incorrect. Or some people will point you out and still do what they do, but you need to be able to have that unbiased opinion, that unbiased person to be able to provide you feedback and guidance upon what you should do next.
Right.
It is sometimes hard to leave someone that you're in a relationship, whether you've been with them for many years, just met, whatever it could be. But you have to realize that you deserve better, and if you don't know it, Velvet is telling you.
FeBaybeee is telling you.
You deserve better, and do not deal with it. Even if it's just, I don't have the money, he's the rich person, or he's the person, the breadwinner of the family. Save your dough up. Or vice versa. If she's the one abusing you, and you not working, and you're the stay-at-home dad, or whatever it may be, and she's the breadwinner, save your dough up. Instead of going out and getting drugs or alcohol or whatever it may be that you're spending money on, those other ones, save that money. Mm-hmm. Save that money, and then once you get enough money, leave them. Sometimes it really is the money, and sometimes if it is that bad, the money is not worth you staying there. And one day, exactly, and one day you may not make it to the next day. So is it, I don't have enough money to do it, and you possibly die, or I'd rather fucking go to a homeless shelter. Mm-hmm. Or if you have true friends or family that will let you stay with them, then, stay with them instead of being there. Because one day you cannot wake up. Mm-hmm. And that is, especially when you, but especially when you have children that you're supposed to take care of. Because trust and believe, if something is to happen to you, whether you're the male or female, and you're in that abusive relationship, and y'all have children together, that abuse is going to get trickled down to them.
Yep.
And if something is to happen to you, again, whether male or female, that abuse trickled down to your children. If something was to occur to you, if you were to die, that's going to happen to your child. Mm-hmm. So if you don't think about yourself, if you don't believe you're worth it, you are, but your child is, or your children are. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah. Yep. But you were going to mention
comedians.
Yes.
So how do you feel about comedians making light of these type of situations?
So there was something, and I think I shared it with you. Lala Milan, she had made a video. She put like a split screen. One screen was showing like the elevator video with Quavo and Saweetie, and then another was like her kind of reaction. She kind of was like ooh, looking, and then when Quavo looked up, she's like, ooh, I wasn't looking, and like kind of like making light of the situation. Mm-hmm. And she got, I personally, I think it was too soon. Mm-hmm. I just, until kind of everything is kind of like understood or know what's going on, I get comedy is subjective. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's for some people. For me, it's just, I didn't find it lighthearted. I didn't see the value in making that video and kind of just being funny about it. So and abuse is always very touchy and very personal to me too. Mm-hmm. So I don't like when people make light of that in general, like abuse, rape, stuff like that. It's a huge off-putter for me.
Okay. So for me, it didn't do that. Like I didn't. Mm-hmm. That sounds terrible. Like I don't like when I watched it. I didn't laugh at it. I was just like, oh, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. But comedians literally talk about any and everything. So whenever it comes to comedians in that sense, I always, I guess, just have what's the word I'm looking for? Like a different approach to it, or I think is what I'm trying to say, like a different approach.
A dissociation type?
Between it, yes. So yes, because she didn't say anything crazy. If she would have said something like the game said or them, then that's different. Mm-hmm. But because she was reacting to it, that's what she does, is like technically what her job is, then I'm not going to be upset at her for doing that. If it was too soon, I don't know, because I've definitely, comedians have said shit the next fucking day after shit happened. And you're like, oh shit, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So I think it just really depends. I can't say that I felt some type of way about it. I think people usually that have dealt with abuse situations or whatever may have a different opinion about it, or again, the sense that you feel. I don't agree with abuse at all, but I think I just disassociate it because again, she's a comedian, that's her job. Yeah. So she's trying to make something that's a bad situation funny so that people aren't. I don't know. So it's just, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it.
I think there's a wide varying range on that. I'm not mad at anybody's perspective on it. I don't appreciate that at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't know. Just someone a vulnerability place. It just doesn't do it for me.
I think it also goes into when she said, "Oh, I didn't see," has to deal with what we were talking about earlier. Is a lot of people are there watching, but are recording it. So I think that's what I got from it as well, and I don't know if that was the sense of what she was doing.
No, she definitely made a post afterwards saying people are too sensitive.
Yeah.
So she was doing it to come from like a kind of a silly place. Yeah. But she got some backlash on it, and she was pretty much like people are too sensitive. I mean, I think that's the first time she's ventured out and done something and made content kind of like that. I don't think she's really made content in that capacity before where she's talking about something like that. So I think it's kind of new for her and getting that type of feedback from it. But I love Lala Milan. She is like legitimately one of my favorite like up and coming like people. Well, she's made it now.
She was on that show. I haven't seen the show, but I heard it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following her for a while. So she I mean everything's a learning experience, especially when you are doing comedy. So I mean, well, to be determined, whether or not she feels as if, what she did, she stands by it or not. Like I said, again, comedy's subjective.
Very true, because I definitely laugh at things that people don't laugh at. And that's why I think it doesn't bother me, but I also think it's because of my old job. Is that at my old job, all of us, like if we were all in a room together, one of us would say something that, most people wouldn't find funny. All of us would laugh. You wouldn't laugh because it's just, I don't know. So I think that's also it. I just disassociate the two. I'm just like, is a comedian making a joke about whatever the situation is.
Gotcha.
And so I think that's just it. Because I literally laugh at crazy shit. And people are like, that's not funny. I'm like, but that shit is funny. So I don't know. Yeah. I think it's just based on your sense of humor. So I don't know. But I must say, hopefully she watches this. We'll do an act to her and see if she'll watch it. But I must say, them body games though, girl, baby.
Yo, you are not playing with them. Your foot is on their neck getting them booties, girl.
Yes, I said I need to learn what she learning because baby.
She's definitely.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
I'm flat like a pancake.
Yeah, she got some. She can give you some tips and pointers because she used to be little body. I mean, she's still a little body girl.
But booty is out there, baby. Now. She said, "Ha, baby, booty." Yes. So I need to. I'm gonna be like her when I grow up, even though I'm older than her.
That is right. She is younger.
She's like 20 something. 20,
yeah, she's younger than us.
Anyway, so yeah, so
one other thing I just wanted to note. This last week was Nipsey Hussle's 2 year of his murder.
It's been 2 years.
Do you recall what you were doing when you first found out? Do you recall how you found out? It was so it's just so unfortunate that he's gone.
Yeah, and the thing is, before he passed, I didn't really listen to his music. Even now, I technically really don't. There's certain songs I like, ride to, but I think I just loved the work he was doing.
Yeah, like his energy, the way he carried himself.
Yes, and the work he was doing for his community. Over anything else, that is what I appreciated. So when I found out he's dead, I was like, damn, that's crazy. There's another one gone. They always take the people that are doing stuff for the community. That's how it always is.
And everything for the trial for the guy who murdered him is still ongoing. That hasn't been concluded yet.
Which is stupid, but
it shows how the justice system works, or how just the judicial system as a whole does. How long it takes to bring somebody to justice. Or to just finish out the entire trial system.
But I don't think that's accurate. You're missing that part in it. Oh, I thought you were going to get it. No, you didn't get it. Judicial system for, it's an ethnicity.
Black people.
Yes. Because I would say, and again, it's just my belief, if it was a person of a Caucasian person, or if it was even possibly an Asian person, I'm not gonna throw in Hispanic because I don't know about that, but Asian or Caucasian, I would have to advise that that trial would not be that long. If it was Chet, we were just talking about him. If Chet had been killed, do you think it would have been this long on this trial? Honestly.
I mean, his dad's also Tom Hanks, but no, probably it wouldn't.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of someone else that's like
Well, we don't want to, give hypotheticals on people dying.
Yes,
but
no,
if,
true.
If it was a white person who was murdered, a prominent white person with the prominence that Nipsey had at the time of his passing, of his murder,
this shit would not take this long. No. So that's my 2 cents, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I wanted to, how we wrap up with the topic. There's something
a topic.
Yeah. I think I wanted to change gears a little bit on
gears.
I was like,
gears.
Tiger. Straight. I wanted to instead of doing something kind of sexual topic based in terms of wrapping up the potty. I wanted to talk more. I'm so sorry for disappointing in any capacity.
She disappointed me. Goddamn, like what? No. Go ahead.
A question was posed to me: if you feel that holding a grudge is a weakness or a sign of weakness, holding a grudge against someone, versus finding the strength to find forgiveness for that individual?
That's such a good question.
So I can tell you what I can let you simmer on it for a second because I've already answered this question.
Okay.
I don't think that forgiveness is a strength. I don't feel that as if every single thing that is done to you has to be forgiven. Because and this could be areas of which growth I need. I don't feel like it's an area of growth that I need to have.
Area of what?
Growth.
Area of growth.
that I need to have. Because sometimes I think forgiveness is also for the other person, to give them peace. I don't always feel like that's necessary. I think that you yourself, outside of giving forgiveness to somebody, need to find peace about whatever it is that you're upset about with that individual. But I don't think that if you decide to hold a grudge, it's because you're not strong enough to forgive whatever it is that grievance is.
So I'm going to say something in relation to what you said, and then I'm going to answer. So I think in relation to, it's not necessarily forgiving them in the sense that you have to go tell them that you forgive them. I think it's forgiving them so that you're able to move on. Because a lot of people that hold grudges aren't able to move forward. Because you're holding whatever that is, whatever grudge you're holding against the person, you're taking that, if it's someone that you used to have a relationship with or whatever it may be, you're taking that into whatever new relationship that you're in. Is just how I feel, is that whatever you're grudging on is what you're taking into that new relationship until you find the forgiveness, or what's the word you just used? The peace on it. But I believe that a forgiveness is part of that peace. I think that you don't truly find full peace until, again, you forgive. Again, it doesn't have to be, hey, Billy, I haven't used Billy in a while. Hey, Billy, I forgive you, is more so of something for you and a growth for you internally in order for you to truly move on and not take that instance with you further. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know, we can disagree on things. We can agree on everything. But yes, so that's my little 2 cents on it. Is that, and I think that's something I had to learn because I definitely was holding grudges on a lot of people, and I was just like, you can take this finger and shove it up there. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that me being able to move forward, I needed to forgive and let it go. I didn't say I forgot it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely not, right.
But I have forgiven the person for the acts that were taken, and I have been able to move forward, and I believe that's a part of my growth. And that's also something that I've been dealing with in my counseling or my sessions, is being able to have growth based upon me letting go of the stuff from the past. Because I'm taking those things, and even though it may be one thing from that one person, if you're taking things from every relationship or every situation, that's a lot going along with you into the person. Again, if you're talking about relationship based, into the person that you're going to marry or want to marry or you're supposed to marry, that's taken a lot of that baggage to that relationship instead of being able to let it go so that you can grow with that person. So I can grow with my boo. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I can respect that.
One day I hope he listens to this. Oh my goodness, I would be so excited. Sorry, go ahead. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I guess I can appreciate the perspective. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how your mind goes too. I'm a person that holds on to things, so until I let it go, it's there. Like it's prominent in my brain. So I have to be able to release it for me to move forward. And that takes a lot for me to do that. Like a lot. So I don't know. That's my little 2 cents. You have anything else to add to that?
No, not really. Not really. No.
So I think to sum up our last couple of weeks, cheating is bad. Don't cheat. Don't get caught cheating. If you get caught, don't tell lies. Abuse is horrible. If you're in an abusive relationship, seek help. If you're the abuser, seek help. If you have children, remember that they could be subject to the same abuse that you're receiving. Grudges are, depending upon who you ask, not a good thing.
And don't put 666 on an Air Max and sell it for profit.
Or, yes, that one. Just make one shoe for yourself. Not several shoes, just one shoe for yourself. Okay? Not several. If you make it for profit, 1, they're going to want they cut. 2, if it's a bad shoe, then they're going to want to sue you. And you got the dough for that.
Yeah. No.
I ain't got the dough for it.
No.
But you know, Lil Nas X might got the dough for it. But he ain't going to want to give it up because I wouldn't want to give him my money.
No.
No, fucking shit.
Nah.
Y'all can take this money. Yeah, take it. Yeah. Or maybe Lil Nas X just need to release some. No, it is not. I don't know, something. He need to say something, I guess. But I don't know if he should say anything truly, actually. Because then they're like, well, even in this video, you said you didn't have permission to do it. So X, Y, Z. So yeah, never mind. Take that back. Don't say that.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah. Let your lawyers do the job. And I think that's about it. I think that sums up our last couple of weeks with cheating and abuse and tennis shoes.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, we can come with better and more uplifting things.
Yes. So world get better, because that's what we're reporting on. That is what we're providing, is what the world is giving us. So it seems like the world needs to get better. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
We're doing our part.
We're going to seek out the good. We're going to seek the good out and come back with some good stuff. We're going to seek out to kind of change up the rhythm and the flow. Rhythm and flow of it all.
That's what she said. But next week, it really depends on what's out there. We try. We really do. So maybe next week I don't know.
I'm going to pull something out my ass. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll talk about ass.
Left cheek, right cheek, left cheek, right cheek.
Is that what you're doing? Because I didn't know what was going on. All I see is, I don't know what you're doing over there.
My left leg's up. Left cheek down.
Anyways, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Like I Was Saying podcast with your girl
FeBaybeee
and your girl Velvet.
Just remember, set each day with new intention. Life is tough, my dear, but so are
you. Ooh, ooh. I just want to do that. I don't know why, but I thought it did sound good. That's not what I was doing.
No, I'm not even sure where it came from.
Remember, each of you are beautiful, and to never stay what?
Stagnant
in your motherfucking life.
We out.
Deuces.